Let's get right to it, man. Let me hit the round of applause. We have a very special guest, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Katt Williams. Thank you for joining us, and we're honored to have you here, man. How you doing?
Doing fine, thank you. How are you, sir?
I'm well. I couldn't be better.
Good.
I love the hat. As a fedora man myself, I see the vibe. I see what you got going on there.
Well, thank you. Thank you. The horses love it.
All right, listen, let's get right to official business. You got your publicist there. Let's get the real shit out the way. You have a movie coming up.
I have my publicist where, Joe?
Oh, that wasn't your publicist?
It was, but he's on the phone, right?
Oh, okay. I don't know. But listen, you have a movie dropping. You, Mike Epps,
yes,
man
sir.
Mike Epps. Shout out to Mike Epps. Tell me about it.
Yeah, so it was the perfect opportunity to join a super team. This was a cast that already had Mike Epps, Little Duval, Michael Blackson, Gary Owen, also Zulai and Brescia Webb. So it already had a chock full cast. The only addition being myself and my henchman in this particular film. So it was a great chance to play a James Harden point guard role where I'm basically the straight man, but everybody in the room is a shooter. So it was a good thing culturally to work on, and it was a good thing comedically as well for all those working comics to be in one production.
When I saw, that's the first thing that came to mind when I saw Coming to America 2. The second thing that came to mind. There were a lot of comedians there, and my thought was, damn, that has to be fun behind the scenes. So many jokes and so much fun that probably will never see the light of day. Was it the same experience doing this?
No, it was better. See, the only problem, it goes one way or the other. So if you have a lot of funny components in the movie, the script still has to be written in a way that will showcase those comedians' talent. So it's not just enough to cast them. You have to cast them and give them something to work with. You can't just say, oh, I got a funny person, I'm going to put them in this role. Now make it funny. If it wasn't written funny, then it doesn't come out funny. And so that's what made this different, is the fact that it was written the right way.
Got it. So listen to this, Katt. I can't wait to see the movie, and I'm excited about it, but I miss your stand-up.
Word.
I have to tell you, I'm sure you hear that every day. Like, can we get a...
Thank you.
Yeah, is there any talks to get that back in action, especially with all of this, the comedians and the streamers, and they're doing their own thing, negotiating their own shit? Like, is there any chance that we see something like that?
Yeah. It's not that type of issue with me. Like, my money has never went anywhere. Like, I've never fumbled the bag. I have had my hands on the handle the whole time. The issue is that, so I do arenas, and arenas were the first facilities shut down nationwide and opened up 100% to this day. So I'm just waiting on my venues to open, and we are amped, ready. The deals are already made. The money's paid. The jokes are written. The sets designed. The wardrobe picked out. Like, we're amped and ready to go. Continue the domination.
You heard what he said.
I'm excited for that.
He said the domination is what the man said. Let's stay on domination for a minute, Katt Williams. Let me ask you something that has nothing to do with the movie or comedy. One of my favorite clips... Sorry, man. Sorry, whoever else is on the phone. One of my favorite clips of yours is you went to do an interview at a radio station, and the young lady had a lot to say, and you were pretty quick with it in your responses, and the internet had a blast with that video. Do you know the video I'm talking about?
I do.
Hey, did you enjoy that as much as we enjoyed it?
No, I was hurt by it. Just because I already knew how this person felt anyway. The person was mad that I worked that city 10 times, sold out the arena 10 times, and never had to use them to sell those tickets. The interview was for somebody else, was to big up somebody else. And to add me in to make a mockery of me is not going to work in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Number two, I know and respect the female comedians in our game. And so that person tended to be one of us, but was not. And the way that you show that is picking a fight with somebody that's in no way in your weight class. No featherweights should be talking to heavyweights for any reason. It's detrimental to the craft itself. So no, I didn't get anything out of that. That's not how I wish things would go. But if you stand on the railroad track, it doesn't matter if you're scared or not. When the train comes, something's gonna happen.
Can you speak to me about your relationship with the internet off of that answer?
Okay.
You, much like myself, probably have a period where you were depicted a certain type of way online. So I can identify with that. But all them stories, and none of which we'll mention, none of them seem, I'm listening to you, I'm watching you, and every time I hear you, it always sounds like you've always been pretty clear in thought and message. Do you think that you have like a tumultuous relationship with the internet? And do you think that most comedians, such as yourself, like when I think of the late, great Patrice O'Neal, I wonder what he would be like on the internet today, or I wonder what they would say about him. You know what I mean? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You could say fuck them. Say fuck the internet. Fuck them.
Right. Which is the wrong way to go.
That's right. That's true. That is true. You're absolutely right.
You have to be a true swimmer to understand that part of fighting the rip current doesn't require fighting at all. Quicksand is like that. The more energy you put into it, the more it's going to bring you down. The blessing in all of it is that whatever you thought terrible about me, you're never going to see the evidence of that. God. So even if you said, hey, Katt Williams is on drugs, every time you see me, I'm going to look better than I did the last time you saw me. These are not the effects of drugs, the type of clarity that I present. If they can't build you up, they only got one other gear. So their job is to say, hey, he got arrested for this, but they don't have the same energy to say, hey, we dropped the charges because none of it was true. They'll just act like you somehow got away with it or something. But the people that are on the internet are still real people. So I don't care whether you're right or wrong. I just care how you feel. And for the people that are in my corner, they know that at the end of the day, I'm never going to do anything that makes us look bad because us is all I got. And on the other token, they've got to, at some point, think I'm dead for it to be called playing possum. And it's what happens after that. The fact that whatever you label me with, why couldn't you beat that guy? Like, none of it applies to you. You're not going to jail, and they're not saying anything about you. So why can't you beat it?
Yeah, no, I totally understand.
And at the end of the day, that's what makes it worth it. Is if you're looking for the crazy guy, you have to look at his body of work and tell me, do you see it?
Powerful.
That's crazy.
Word. That's powerful. What do you think of? This has been a hot topic in comedy for a little while, right? With this whole cancel culture, we're unable to get our jokes off. Recently, we've had Chris Rock speak on it, and we've had Seth Rogen speak on it with two opposite points of view. Where do you stand on comics' ability to be comics without judgment and repercussion from cancel culture?
If you ask all of the people that didn't make it to the NBA, if you ask them if we just lowered the goal down another foot, they will all tell you they make it. Nobody likes the out of bounds, but the out of bounds got to be there or you'll run up in the stands, right? So some of these things are for the benefit of everything. Nobody likes the speed limit, but it's necessary. Nobody likes the shoulder of the road, but it's there for a reason. Mm-hmm. My point is, people weren't all that extremely funny back when they could say whatever they wanted to say. At the end of the day, there's no cancel culture. Cancellation doesn't have its own culture. That was people of color. That was us policing our own culture. That was people without a voice being trashed by people just because they had a bigger name than them and more money than them and a better office than them. They could sweep them up under the rug like they didn't matter. I don't know what people we think got canceled that we wish we had back. I don't even know who are they. It's done for the reasons it's done for, and it helped who it helped. If all that's going to happen is we have to be more sensitive in the way that we talk, isn't that what we want anyway? I'm saying your job as a comedian is to please the most amount of people with your art. So if you want to offend somebody, nobody took those words away from you. Mm-hmm. Dirty bitch ain't been taken away. You can say that, but don't call somebody this word when you know this affects all of these people. Don't use the R word when you really mean people on the spectrum. Don't say this word instead of saying autistic. Don't say this word instead of saying little people. Look, if these are the confines that keep you from doing the craft God put you to, then it probably ain't for you.
Your talent is there anyway. That's real shit. That's dope.
Makes all the sense in the world to me.
Growth is part of being an adult. Is the ability that I used to think this way, and then I got more information. So now I adjusted my thinking to this.
Growth. You're a monster.
One would think.
Yeah. In that growth with your new movie release, because the trend I'm seeing is movies that are releasing in the theaters as well as streaming on different apps versus some movies that are strictly being released in theaters. And there seems to be a big commotion about this in Hollywood from directors and production houses. Where do you stand on that? Are you in support of getting your movie in front of all possible eyes, even if it affects people getting out to the theaters? Don't look to the side.
No, not really, because I'm a fan first. So as a fan, I've watched movies in the theater and I've watched them at home, and I prefer the theater. There are certain movies I wouldn't mind watching at the house, but I like to see how the big bucks got spent on the big screen. Mm-hmm. And this was one of those opportunities where we had already put the work in and already had it in the can. And then it was just the theaters that were no longer open. So if you got a great project, it's worth the wait until they open up and put it out the way that it should be seen.
Correctly.
You only have to make concessions if you kind of work out how that could turn out.
Got it.
Question for you. Is there a big difference from your standpoint in the bottom line? If people can or cannot go to the theater?
No, because those things happen after the fact anyway.
Gotcha.
So I'm saying you're gonna watch Star Wars in the theater wherever you watch it, but that's not gonna stop you from watching it on Disney Plus.
True. Right.
So as my own business for these last 25 years, I'm saying part of my job was to do the special. Part of my job was to write a special good enough. Then my job was to hire the director and the production and then make sure that we had the lights and the venue. But then the most important part was who was going to distribute it after. Mm-hmm. That actually going to get to the people. And so I had to do licensing deals on all of these. So my HBO special wasn't HBO's, it was mine. It was licensed. Mm-hmm. The same on Comedy Central, the same on Showtime, the same. So, we're used to this part of the process. But at the end of the day, for comedy, we just wanted to put out a great comedy movie. And the ability to do that with a horror twist and to do something that hadn't already been reworked and rehashed, and to be able to do it with a great cast, those are all just no-brainer type of opportunities.
Yo, you go ahead.
Staying on the movie topic, do you personally like the movie arena or the stand-up arena? Like, what's your favorite? If you could pick which one you enjoy more.
I'm not that type of person. I love both my girlfriends.
Yeah, that's right now.
Man, ain't nothing wrong with them. Ain't nothing wrong with a menage.
The thing is that you're not getting from one what you're getting from the other. They're not the same. So what I'm saying is, in the movie atmosphere, I can do 7 takes, because in each of these 7 takes, I'm giving it a different thing. And then we're able, after that, to pick which was the best variation of that. Mm-hmm. Whereas stand-up is immediate. I immediately said it, you immediately heard it, and we can't change what your response is. If it's laughter, it's successful. If it's silence, then maybe not. And so it's 2 different pacings, but my intent is there on both. So whatever character I'm bringing, I'm not a better actor than others. I just, I really care about this character and how this character plays to the people I'm trying to play the character.
So just the entertainment is your ultimate goal. Just being a supreme entertainer and
yeah.
Gotcha.
Well, no, I'm saying as a fan, I've read the script, and now I'm knowing how this guy needs to present this and what level of corny is acceptable and what realness is present. And I'm saying I'm an avid reader, so I'm judging these films on script alone before I find out the particulars of the money or who's directing or who else is in it. I'm judging it based on the script first. So.
Amazing.
Let me go on a rant really quick, Katt Williams, and I'm not going to take up too much of your time. They tell me I'm a contrarian, right? They tell me that I have a problem with authority, and they tell me that I fuck a lot of shit up. And I love that shit, right? I also love the people that do it, like Prince. And we're at the precipice now where we're seeing a lot of that between creators and companies, recently with Naomi Osaka and the French Open, recently as Mike Tyson with the Hulu doc, where he's standing up and saying, hey, that's not authorized by me. Please do not support that. The same as Dave Chappelle did with Comedy Central and so forth and so on. What I'm saying to you is, I like all this therapeutic, calm, relaxed shit that you're doing. But when we need you, when the fight heats up between the creators and these companies, you're one of my favorite fuck you people. Like, we need to be able to come and get you when we need a strong, triumphant fuck you to these companies. That's it. You don't have to reply to that. I just needed to tell you.
Yeah. Yeah. But our society has elected worshiping the bag. And see, the whole problem is you can't worship the bag and be on the front line of this. And I'm only able to consistently keep the bag because the bag is of the people and from the people. And I'm not being sponsored privately or otherwise by any entities, and am beholding to none. So even if you wanted to go to who pays me, you're looking at it. Mm-hmm. So that is the independence and the freedom that we all walk in with, but we are conditioned that the first thing that we have to do is have a yard sale.
Give up our
right. A piece of this.
Give it away.
And there's no way to do that coming in and end up whole at the end. It requires you to not really understand your worth first. If you did, then you could stand on it, come hell or high water. And that's what's necessary in the climate. Like, it's a Shark Tank. You have to understand that going in. And if you can have an example, then you'll be able to see that they'll say these type of things whether they apply to you or not. So once you understand that part, it's really just about the body of work and posting numbers that they can't erase.
Well said. To piggyback on what you were saying, I was about to ask you when you said basically you pick and choose predicated on the script. Like, I'm sure you got 1,000 scripts on your desk that people send you all the time. Once you read it over, you could care less about what the numbers are. If it's a piece of shit script, I'm not doing it. If it's something that I think will resonate with the people, then you jump right in. And it kind of correlates to not just running for the bag. Because I see a lot of black movies nowadays, they trash, right? But you could tell people getting the money from them, but they still not good films. So we kind of lacking in that area. What's your stance on it? Like, can we get back to the Harlem Nights and the Boomerangs?
Integrity is just not sexy. And so the only reason I don't look at the money part first and go straight to the script is if somebody told you that they'll give you $2 million for 11 days of work, what you gonna say?
Yes.
Right.
What time would you like me to be there, sir?
Feeling like that.
I think it depends on where my stance is.
We'll put you up $4 million in this calendar month, but the damage it may do to your career, you can't get it back.
Well, your brand.
So I don't base it upon what it's going to do as a project. I base it upon what I'm going to do as a project. So in each of these, there's a person watching this who ain't seen me in nothing else but this. This is going to be their first experience with me. And so I want them to get the full experience that I could bring. And I can only do that if it's supported by the script. So I'm saying I haven't played a pimp role since Friday After Next. I wasn't interested in that in any way in a character because I know I did my best the last time I did that character. So this was just an odd piece of material that was perfect for the people that were cast in it. And that type of shit shows in the creation at the end.
Gotcha.
This is my last question, and I shouldn't ask it, but I'm going to ask it. On a scale of 1 to 10, how funny you think Will Ferrell is?
All right. As an actor, I don't think you can get as close as Will Ferrell has come to the real vein of comedy without being a stand-up. I think that he's one of those few people that stood in the gap where they were not stand-up comedians, and yet they got the honor and respect as if they were, just because of again their body of work and their selflessness when it comes to the laugh. As comedians, that's part of our job, is to give whatever is necessary for the laugh at the end of it. And he has been truer to that than most. And never making it about himself and allowing himself to get completely lost and immersed in each of the characters that he presented in the name of comedy.
That was a great answer.
That was amazing.
That was a great answer.
That's real shit.
Let me hit the round of applause. Katt, I thank you for stopping by. We love you here. You're always welcome here. Movie, no movie. Laughs, no laughs. We fuck with you, man.
Legend.
Much success.
I appreciate it.
But I don't have to tell you that, man. We love you. Katt Williams, y'all.
All right.
Salute.
Peace.